Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are so excited here to switch some gears and talk a little about gut health today. Yes, we sure are. And who's our guest? Our lady of the hour, Jacqui Justice. She's a nutritionist at Jacqui Justice. And also she's a functional nutritionist. And I just want everyone to know that she's back with us today. And she's still on this quest to really help everyone out there with their personal wellness issues. And she's had her own share. She can empathize, she can relate, and she's trained. She has her master's in nutrition and so much more. Jacqui, please say hello to your audience. Thank you so much.
Hey, everyone. It's great to be back here. Hi, Jill. Well, we've talked about so many things so far. We've talked about, why it's important in menopause to really focus on weight loss because of all the crazy hormonal things that happen. Then we talked about insulin. Now we're switching gears a little. I'm going to be talking about gut health because that also plays a major part in not just, weight loss in menopause, but also how we're feeling and all of those annoying symptoms that we have to deal with. So, so many of us, I know most of my clients deal, and myself also, like we said, deal with annoying gut health symptoms like gas and bloating, constipation. This is not a sexy subject here.
I know.
IBS, acid reflux, and we don't always connect them with some of the other symptoms like weight loss challenges and belly bloat and fatigue, brain fog, mood issues, hormonal imbalances, even skin issues, like especially skin issues like acne, eczema, rosacea, even psoriasis. But guess what? They're all connected. And healing our gut is often the key to unlocking the mystery of all of these menopausal symptoms. So, and that's why all of my programs begin with a gut healing plan, because that just eliminates so many of these symptoms so quickly, especially, the first thing that you see change is like all that gas and bloating that you get, especially that, right around the middle, which is like one of the most annoying symptoms of menopause that there is.
Oh my goodness. Yep. 100%. So this is insane because I think all of us suffer with gut issues. And like I've been told to have IBS, and it's like, well, what really is IBS? And anyway, we all suffer with something. So as you say, a lot of us, think we're doing the right thing, but can't really get rid of it all.
I know. And one of the reasons, Jill, is because of what you just said. Like you'll go to the doctor with your symptoms and they just pick an umbrella term like IBS to say that's what you have. And it's a chronic issue. And I have found in my experience that it's generally not a chronic issue. It's not really IBS. It's just a result of, something going funky in your gut that can be totally fixed. Like having something like dysbiosis, which is an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in your intestinal tract, that could happen from taking antibiotics. That can happen from being stressed. That can happen from eating too much sugar. So many reasons. And all you need to do is fix it. No more IBS. It's a shame that, it's being dealt with like that. And that's one of
my goodness. Well, let's get started because why does gut health even matter when it comes to weight loss, especially in menopause? I can't wait to hear more about it.
Well, it's kind of like a trickle-down effect. So first of all, the hormonal changes that happen starting in perimenopause totally affect your gut. When that estrogen and progesterone levels start to drop, usually starting in perimenopause, it slows down our gut motility. And that's the movement of food through your intestinal tract. So what happens? We start getting constipated, and then we start getting bloated. And then one of the other things that happens that it sounds sort of weird, but it's really important, is that lower estrogen and progesterone levels also lower our microbiome diversity. And that's basically the variety and abundance of microorganisms that live in our gut. I know, like, the microbiome is a big buzzword right now, and that's really what that's all about. And so, that's really not good because our health and well-being depends greatly on the diversity of those little buggers living in our gut. It's so gross to think about it, but that's the way it is. And then finally, lower estrogen can lead to increased gut inflammation. Inflammation's at the root cause of like every like chronic health issue that there is, but it also makes it much, much harder to lose weight. That inflammation is like, just like a big cog in the
Mhm.
wheel of weight loss. So, and then there's the gut brain connection.
Yeah,
And
what is that? I always hear that.
yeah, that's a really cool thing. The gut produces about 90% of our serotonin. That's our feel-good hormone. And when we have poor gut health, we have less of this feel-good hormone, serotonin, and that equals mood swings, increased stress, and emotional eating patterns. That is a huge weight gain component right there. That's stress eating.
Wow. Yep.
Yep. And
Guilty
they'll,
of that.
yeah, I don't know anyone that doesn't do that, especially now. So, then there's nutrient absorption and metabolism. So if your gut isn't digesting food properly, you're not absorbing key nutrients like magnesium. Most women are magnesium deficient, and that's like a huge mineral that is important for like 300 different enzymatic reactions that go on in the body every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, B vitamins. B vitamins are essential for metabolism and energy production. So our metabolism slow down, we burn less fat, we're more tired and actually hungrier because our body isn't absorbing nutrients efficiently. So what do? We're eating. We're eating and we're not exercising because we're tired. That's what happens.
Goodness.
I
Wow. Okay, there's so
know.
much more we got to talk about. This is getting me because wow, I'm in shock myself.
Does any
And
of this resonate with you? Do
it
you
does, but can I
feel?
tell you the truth? I always go to the doctor, the OBGYN, and I get my hormones to, oh, you're fine, you're fine. I don't feel fine. Like I feel like I can't rely on my regular OBGYN to give the proper stuff here. Like I think I need someone else.
Yeah, that's a whole really interesting, and maybe we'll talk about that next time. That's a really interesting subject is that whole like you go to your doctor, they do some blood work, you have all of these symptoms, only to be told everything's normal. And you're like, no, it's not. It's really because the blood work is kind of antiquated. The reference ranges that are used to analyze your blood work are ridiculously wide. And so everybody just falls in that sort of quote unquote normal zone when they're not. And that's the big problem. So I do a specialized blood work and a specialized analysis that just circumvents all of that. And root causes pop up like you can't believe.
Oh
Anyway,
my goodness.
yeah. So,
Huh.
all right. So let's see. Our digestion is sluggish,
Mm-hmm.
feeling bloated. It's
Yep,
affecting our
totally.
body.
Everything. And even, what we're eating.
Yeah,
Eating a little
fine.
too much, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. And so let's talk about some signs that, our gut health may be affecting our weight. Um, Gas and bloating after meals. That's like a sure sign something funky is going on in your gut. Irregular bowel movements, either constipation, diarrhea, or sometimes both. Cravings for sugar and carbohydrates. That is a huge red flag. So remember I talked about like your microbiome and the bacteria in your gut. So if you have too much bad bacteria in your gut, and as I said, that could happen from taking antibiotics, from eating too much sugar, for being stressed, blah, 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 you will start to crave sugar and carbohydrates. And the reason why that happens is because that is the food for that bad bacteria. So it's not really your fault. if you're craving sugar and carbs, it's really, I mean, this bacteria is actually running the show. It's like, all right, I need a Hershey bar now. You really almost like have no control over it. That's, a big reason to really get serious about healing your gut. You're going to be fatigued and have things like brain
Tired.
fog.
Oh yeah, we got that. Skin
Yeah.
issues too, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. And then the skin issues like acne, rosacea, eczema, even psoriasis, your skin is a very, very accurate reflection of your gut health. Like if even teenagers that have acne, something, is going on in their gut. That's where people should first look instead of, giving a kid all kinds of antibiotics to take or birth control pills. That's another one. Look at the gut and fix what's going on there first.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
it's really, you said it is all fixable though, which, we're going to get into that too and how to heal your gut for better digestion, weight loss, and restoring that energy in just a sec. But we do have to take a quick break here. Would you mind sharing how we can contact you?
Sure. You can reach out to me at jacquijustice.com. That's JACQUIJUSTICE.com. I have a little message bot on my website, so you can just kind of, jot me off a little note on that. You can certainly make an appointment, and at the end, we'll give you a discount code for that.
We love discounts. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Let's take a quick break. And when we return, we'll talk more, obviously, about how to heal our gut and digestion, make it all better. And yeah, maybe lose some of that weight, restore that energy. Don't go anywhere.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the hotter, juicier classic burgers. Mr. Hamburglar. Rubble, rubble. He said, of all the McDonald's burgers I've ever hamburgled, these are the hottest, juiciest, and tastiest. Rubble.
Get deals on all your faves in the app, like a triple cheeseburger for only $3. Offer valid one time per day from 11/13 to 11/26 at participating McDonald's. List items and rewards exclude snacks in comparison to prior classic burgers.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Elevate your beauty at Rue Royale Beauty Bar with owner Ramona Maurice. From stunning hairstyling to luxurious beauty treatments, we offer personalized services that have you feeling fabulous. Ready for your transformation? Call 973-323-7267 or visit RueRoyaleBeauty.com today.
If you are the new parent of a baby out of wedlock, you're probably freaking the heck out. We remember how stressful it was when we had unexpected children with people we did not want to marry. After spending tens of thousands on legal battles that dragged on for years, eventually we learned the hard way what works and what doesn't in the real world. I'm Jim Braz, co-author of the award-winning book, Baby Out of Wedlock. We help unmarried mothers and fathers get their questions answered, improve co-parenting relationships, and avoid nasty legal battles that cost a fortune. Go to babyoutofwedlock.com to learn more.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are excited to be joined here with our friend Jacqui Justice and talking today in regards to menopause and this gut health, gut brain connection. What are some of the things we could be doing to help restore our energy, to heal our gut, digestion? And we're excited that we're back with her. So let's get started. What are some of these things that maybe we could do to start healing the gut to improve the digestion and lose that excess weight and improve that energy?
Well, simply, we could eat more fiber. So you want to focus, you want to make sure you're having the right kind of fiber. Fiber is
Hi, Jackie. You there?
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Fiber is so important for the gut, like so important, but you want to focus on the right kind. So there's prebiotic and probiotic foods that have a lot of fiber. And prebiotics would be like garlic, onions, asparagus, bananas, almonds, leeks, green veggies, even apple cider vinegar. You can try those things. Fiber also feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which improves digestion, helps regulate appetite and blood sugar control. Very importantly, you should reduce inflammatory foods. Like if you were just going to do one thing, this would be it. You want to cut back on processed sugars, alcohol, and refined carbohydrates because they feed the bad bacteria and increase inflammation. You want to swap those out for like whole nutrient-dense options like leafy greens, nut seeds, and lean proteins. The more lean protein you have and the more healthy fats you have, the less you're going to crave those refined carbohydrates, by the way. You want to manage stress. Stress increases cortisol, which disrupts digestion and gut balance. And we are always in this fight or flight mode. And that's what's happening. It's like we're in this fight or flight mode. Our body thinks we're being, chased by a saber-toothed tiger. And then digestion goes out the window because it's more important to keep you safe from the saber-toothed tiger than it is to digest your food. So stress is a big, big causative factor in digestive issues. You want to try deep breathing. It's so simple, like a nice, 3 deep breaths before you eat or anytime during the day where you feel a little stressed or even like to go to sleep. That's such an easy thing. I usually have my clients put a little alarm on their phone every hour to just take 3 abdominal breaths. And it really does help. It's actually clinically proven to lower stress hormones and blood pressure. Okay, prioritize hydration. So dehydration is going to slow down your digestion, can lead to constipation, but it also causes the body to hold on to excess water. So as contradictory as it sounds, you actually need to drink water to get rid of excess water, that bloat. And you want to kind of aim for half your body weight in ounces of water. I know that might seem like a lot at first, but you know what? You just kind of gear up slowly and you'll get there and your body will get used to it and you won't feel good without doing that. So that's something to definitely try. You might want to try digestive enzymes or apple cider vinegar. I use digestive enzymes all the time in my practice. I am the biggest fan of them. Take one before I eat and everything is just fine. No gas and bloating, no full feeling. They're just the greatest thing. So also, if you have low stomach acid, which is common in menopause, a little apple cider vinegar before meals can really help. You just put a teaspoon in water and drink it before you eat. And as I said, digestive enzymes also help to support better breakdown of proteins and fats. And those make a big difference because a lot of people, especially women in menopause, have lower digestive enzyme output. And that's why they can't digest their food as well. So there's always a reason. There might be a different reason, but there's always a reason. And last but not least, if none of these things help, it's time to do some gut health testing, really get to the root cause. This is my absolute favorite thing to do in my practice because miracles happen from this. This is how I got better. And this is how most of my clients who have real gut issues like dysbiosis, maybe even have some parasites and digestive deficiencies and things. How are you going to know you have those things? Unless you test for them, right? Test, don't guess. And you just waste so much time if you don't actually get to the root cause. So anyway, that is just, you can't believe how gut health issues are so connected with weight loss, because these gut health issues cause food sensitivities. And then you're eating these foods that you're unknowingly sensitive to. That's causing inflammation and all kinds of other issues. So many things are connected. So it really, my recommendation, if these other little easier things don't work, get some gut health testing. I certainly would help you do it. I'm sure there's other functional medicine practitioners out there that would love to help you too. But it's so important. Before you know it, you're feeling so much better. Your energy is high. You're not falling asleep during the day. You don't have that, little belly bloat and fat around the middle anymore. It's amazing. That's my number one recommendation for sure.
Ooh, well, I got to go back to this. Hold on. These digestive enzymes, right? You mentioned. How do we know which ones we should be taking? There's so many, and honestly, it confuses me. How do we know what's in what?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky issue because there's certain digestive enzymes certain people shouldn't have. I would just say to play it safe. Just get you can go to any, I mean, I like professional supplements, and believe me, anyone can reach out to me and I will help them out. But if you don't want to do that, just go to a really, like a Whole Foods, something like that, where they have someone to help you, or a good health food store, and just tell the person that's helping you you want a full spectrum digestive enzyme,
Got it.
and maybe plant-based, and see if that helps you. If that doesn't help you, then you've got to go up to pancreatic enzymes after that.
Oh my goodness. Well, then
Okay.
you mentioned also apple cider vinegar. Is there any specific type, or do we dilute it? Do we keep it? How much do we drink of it?
Yeah, I would get, like, I think the original one is called Mother's and it's organic. I would just put a teaspoon in about 8 ounces of water. Now, speaking of water, you do not want to drink tap water because that's really bad for your gut health. Tap water is chlorinated, and chlorine kills off your good bacteria.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
so make sure you're drinking filtered water. Put the little bit of apple cider vinegar. People have great results from that. It's also great if you have a cold. I mean, it's one of those things that's, it's got like 800 great benefits.
Wow. Okay, this is awesome because now, how do you really figure out what's going on, right? Because if these aren't helping you, maybe it's time to really start going for that root cause and figure it out. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the test, I mean, as I said, this is not a sexy subject. Gut health testing involves a stool sample. And it's very easy, and it takes like a minute. You get the test kit, you do it at home. The test kit comes with like a self-paid mailer. You bring it to FedEx, or they'll come pick it up, and it goes right to the lab. The lab analyzes it, and then who's ever doing it gets the results, and then you make an appointment, you go over it. And then usually, there's several different things that might come up on the test, and your practitioner will create protocols for you. Very, it should be one at a time, so you're not overwhelmed, depending on, what you show up with. And I usually heal digestion first. And then if there's any bad guys in there, I get rid of them second, and then go back to healing the gut lining after that. I know it sounds like crazy science, but it's not. And it's really step by step. And you're feeling so much better all the time that you're on it. And it takes a couple, depending what you have, it takes a couple of months.
Interesting. And then, there's also the food sensitivity testing that you were
Yeah.
talking about as well. What does that consist of?
That's usually a blood sample. And
Okay.
sometimes it can be just a finger prick, others it could be just a tiny little vial, and sometimes it could be more, depending what lab the person uses. But that's a fascinating test. Most people want that because it's just so interesting. Like, wow, look at all this, like these foods that I'm sensitive to. The first time
Mm-hmm.
I ever did it, I was shocked. I just did it because, my clients were doing it. I was like, well, I should do it too. I didn't feel weird at all. And I did it, and it was unbelievable how many things I was sensitive to. And in fact, 6 things on my severe list were what I ate for breakfast that morning.
Wow. I
I know.
know.
And then what happens is that you give up those foods. And then when you put them back in your diet, you really see that they don't work for you.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
amazing. You can't believe how much better you feel and how much more energy you have when you cut out the foods that you're sensitive to, heal your gut. And then most of the time you can eat them again. But getting rid of those foods that your body doesn't like, oh, it is life changing. That's all I can say.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me ask you about your personal journey, and we're going to talk a little bit more about, starting with the prebiotics, probiotics, and how we could start doing that as well. And which ones are we supposed to be taking? That's also another part of it. And just tell me a little bit about your personal journey. They may not know if they didn't listen from the beginning. What brought you here into this field?
Right. So when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I just felt terrible. I always had like the IBS situation that you're dealing with. And again, went to doctor to doctor to doctor. At the end, they finally said, you know what, we think you need to see a psychologist. You've got nothing wrong with you. But I did have all these health issues. So I just kept seeking and seeking. And I found a naturopathic doctor that did all this testing I'm speaking about. And I found out like what was wrong with me. I just really, I don't know if your audience knows, but there's something called candida. It's a yeast overgrowth in your intestinal tract. I had taken a lot of antibiotics as a kid for sinus infections and all kinds of things like that. And that just wiped out all my good bacteria. When that happens, the bad bacteria tends to take over. And then you feel awful, like always tired, can't digest your food, gas and bloating, blah, blah, blah. And once, I got rid of the foods I was sensitive to, healed my gut, got rid of all that bad bacteria within a month. First of all, I shed like 10 pounds without even trying. Literally was like my clothes were falling off me. I'm like, what's going on here? and then it felt like amazing energy in about a month's time. It's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. And then just from that, I just became so interested in wellness and wanted to help other people, have the same experience I did. And so I ended up by going back to school, getting my master's, getting my whatever that's called, bachelor's in it, and then master's, and then opened my own practice. And I've been doing it ever since. But gut health, honestly, is my most favorite part because it really can make the biggest difference. It's connected to everything. Everything begins in the gut.
Yep, absolutely. Well, also, we mentioned we're all looking for perfection, right? But come on, we just get balanced. Let's get there. We want to feel good. And I love that you're ready to help so many people take this dive. And if we want to connect with you, Jacqui, we go to JacquiJustice.com, JacquUiJustice.com, and tell us about this promotion.
Yeah. So if they want to book a consultation, just there's a little box and you just put capital MENO for Meno, the number 20, so Meno 20, and you'll get a 20% discount off your first visit.
Oh my goodness.
Easy
Well,
peasy.
I know. Well, we love speaking with you, getting all these tips. We got to really try to cut down on those carbs. My goodness, it's time. Spring is here. Yeah. And just curious on your food journal, do you put it on your phone? Do you actually handwrite it? How do you do your food journal?
Okay, so I usually send it to my clients electronically. I'm old school. I really like writing it out. I feel like it works better. This sort of like a brain, like hand connection. So I like the old school way, but a lot of people like to use apps to do it. It doesn't matter as long as you do it. I have another way because a lot of my clients have always hated writing out their foods. They hate the food journal part. So I came up with this other way where you just take a picture of every single thing you're eating. And at the end of the day, you want that collage to be beautiful and colorful and just gorgeous. And in that way, you've eaten well because, refined carbohydrates have no color. I mean, we're not talking about foods that have food like coloring in them. I'm talking about like real fruits and vegetables and, just those healthy foods that we want to get into our diet, those fiber-rich foods. Those are for people that just will not will not do a food journal any other way.
Got
But
it.
it is great to write it down and also write your symptoms. This is how you find out what's actually good and not good for you. Is that, you kind of notice after a while, oh, wow, isn't that weird? Every time I have such and such, I don't feel good. My stomach gets bloated, da, da, da. That's how you find out. That's how you connect the dots along the way, is doing that. It makes a huge difference.
Well, thank you so much for being here again. Don't forget, use the code MENO for Menno 20 for 20% off. Jacqui Justice, we appreciate your time here. Have a great day, okay?
You too, Jill. See you next time.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting. I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.